Hi and welcome to my latest masterclass. The subject today is the value of values. It starts really with talking about a new concept from Green King, Hickory's Barbecue Smokehouse. There are now 26 of these since the launch in 2022. Coincidentally, back in the 90s, I was a consultant for Green King and developed a concept which was the forerunner of the Hungry Horse, which now has 246 branches. By another coincidence, way back in 1985, my God, 40 years ago, I was the managing director of Grand Met's new projects company, where I launched a new Creole concept called Old Orleans with the tagline, the home of Southern hospitality. This brand grew to 26 restaurants until it was sold to Regent Inns in 2006. But sadly, it died in 2011. However, it had lasted 26 years and the cumulative sales exceeded £1 billion, which is not a bad outcome from three guys working in a wee office overlooking Hammersmith Bridge. Anyway, back to Hickory. I recommend a good look at their website, which is excellent, and on it they list the values that they're seeking to consistently deliver. These correspond closely to the values that I share with participants in my monthly hospitality partner workshops, with one interesting addition. The first value is authenticity, and they support this by stating that their smokers are imported from Missouri and Tennessee and shipped 4,000 miles across the Atlantic. The second value is passion, where they explain how their pitmasters smoke meat and their secret recipe for rubs and sauces, and how they claim to keep learning, discovering something new and doing it right. Both of these are very much concerned with the product. I firmly believe that the starting point for any restaurant menu should be to create a unique selling proposition that separates you from your competitors. It's important to have a story that reinforces the authenticity of your positioning, and this is exactly what Hickory's have done. For example, one of our hospitality partner clients was a restaurant called Amalfi. Their claim to fame was that they were the best Italian restaurant in Brighton, which was not supported by evidence and was therefore a very suspicious claim. We engineered the menu to focus on dishes unique to the Amalfi coast, something no one else in the city was offering, hence delivering the notions of uniqueness and authenticity, which went down extremely well. Their third value is welcome, and they explain that on their travels, Hickory people are always greeted like old friends, and so they want to replicate the generosity of spirit and open-hearted hospitality of the southern states. This is summarized with Hickory is a home from home for all our guests. Please note this is very similar to my service proposition for Old Orleans, the home of Southern hospitality. As I'm quick to remind my audiences, service next to cleanliness is the most important attribute of any restaurant's offering. Therefore, finding a way to describe the importance of that aspect is vital, and the reference to Southern hospitality does this extremely well. Another good example of this is one of my hospitality partner client restaurants, Nostos. A little bit of research allowed me to discover that the translation of this Greek word is homecoming. We therefore developed this into a service promise on the front of the menu, which said, "Our team will treat you like you are coming home." So give some thought to your service promise and share your thoughts with your staff, because they're the ones who will be delivering it. The next value concerns community, where Hickory hosts local events and raise money for their chosen charity, which is Cash for Kids, and they've raised over £680,000 so far. Restaurants should seek to support local businesses and causes to play their part in the community, something again I emphasise in my workshop. It's very straightforward to pick up, for example, a charity in Brighton, the Rocking Horse Appeal. It provides help to children, or consider operating sponsored beach cleaning events, which I do and which are very popular. These initiatives promote goodwill for any restaurant, which is a key ingredient in repeat visits. The final value is daring. Now, this is a new one for me, and I think it's an excellent addition which I'm going to include in future workshops. Hickories describe this as striving to find their own way and finding mechanism to surprise their guests. The example they used was that they dared to show American football at 3 a.m. in Chester in 2013. Only 8 people showed up, but now it's 800, and they'll continue to dare to do things differently. An excellent ambition. Putting my creative hat on, I thought of ways I could have surprised guests at my recently owned restaurant, the Old Bank. One idea was to introduce 2 singers disguised as waiters who would spontaneously burst into song every 30 minutes on a Saturday night. Another was to put menu prices back to the level in 2010 when I first opened the restaurant to celebrate the 15th anniversary over a week. Maybe even give every kid a set of rabbit ears over the Easter break. Food for thought, but certainly worth consideration, as this is a very unusual element to include in the values of a business, surprising the guest. The exercise that Hickories undertook is one which I recommend to all my clients. That is, defining the values that set you apart from your competitors, and these should include the product, service, community, and why not, include daring. Hope you enjoyed this and found it interesting. If you've got any questions, please drop me an email or a WhatsApp and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I look forward to meeting you on the next Masterclass. Thanks again for listening. Bye-bye.